Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Heather. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, elementary and high school age. Today I am joining in on a collaboration with Abby from Rooted in Rest and Jessica from the Waldock Way, all about food in our homeschool. So let's get started. Food in your homeschool. This is one I'm gonna look and see if I can find that meme about how often kids eat in homeschool. It's like they are constantly needing snacks. And I think that that's totally fine. We have always allowed our kids to eat when they want to eat in our homeschool. And honestly, I have used it as a way to help my kids when they were younger to pay attention to what we were doing in homeschool. I've always found that if you are sitting down and you are reading aloud to your kids or you're trying to do something and make them listen, if their mouths are full, they're better able to listen. And so one of the things that I started doing when my kids were much younger, my older two primarily, when they were much younger, is I started packing a lunch for them. And part of it was because we would go back to school shopping. We still do that every single year, and they would see all of the lunch boxes and the water bottles and all of that fun stuff. And they were so excited about those things. And so we would want to also have those lunch boxes. Now, we do use lunch boxes when we're out for the day. If we go away for a day, I'll pack like a cooler and have snacks and things like that so that we're not having to purchase food out. But in the day to day, I wasn't thinking, oh, we should wake up and pack a lunch every day. But then one day, after my kids got up for maybe the 7th time in a row to get a snack, it was so disruptive to our day that I had to come up with something different. And that different thing was to start packing a lunch for them. And when I say pack a lunch, I don't necessarily mean packing like a sandwich and one snack and, a drink and stuff like that, but it also could be. What I would end up doing is in the morning, I would have my kids pack their snacks for the day. And the reason that I did this was they were allotted a certain number of snacks in the day, and they could choose them. They could eat them when they wanted. That didn't bother me. But once they were gone, they were gone. And what would happen is they would start math and they would be bored with math and they would want a snack. And so they would get up and they would go wander into the pantry closet and look at the snacks. And then they may or may not come back to the table for math. And during this time, I had Lucy, who was a baby, and I would get distracted with changing diapers or needing to do something with her or something with the dog, or just something would be going on. And it would take me so long to get everybody back around the table to continue homeschooling just because they got up that one time for snack. So I started to have them pack their snacks in a lunchbox in the morning, and then they would just have their lunchbox with them as we were doing school. And if they wanted a snack, they didn't have to get up to go and look for a snack. They could just unzip their lunchbox and take the snack out. And it was a revolutionary idea to me. I never considered it before, but as soon as I implemented that, it gave us so much more time back in our day, because I didn't say, oh, you have to wait for a snack. They could still have the snack whenever, but they weren't getting up and wandering around to get a snack, and I didn't have to stop what I was doing to make them a snack. And so that has been probably the biggest help in my homeschool as far as food goes. Now, as my kids have gotten older, my older two are able to make a lot of food. Emma does a lot of meals for everybody. She makes her own meals. She is kind of elaborate with some of her food, and so it does take a longer time to make her food, but they have learned those skills over the years, and they're able to do that kind of on their own. They're able to help by getting Lucy snacks or help Lucy make her snack. And so We started out with the lunch boxes, but as my kids have gotten older, we've kind of shifted away from that. And it's just, our days just run a little bit differently. But I think that if you have younger kids, that lunchbox idea is so, so helpful. Another thing that we do is we do focus on learning about cooking and baking, etc., in our homeschool. It's a skill that everybody should know, and it doesn't have to be super complicated. It can be if you have a kid that really loves being in the kitchen, like Emma loves to cook. She loves baking. Lucy loves baking. Jack can kind of take it or leave it. So if you have a kid that really enjoys being in the kitchen, continue to foster that, because essentially what we are doing as moms, as parents, outside of homeschooling, is we are training our kids to replace us, because eventually they are going to have to leave the house and move out on their own, and we want them to have those skills to be able to successfully function as an adult after they leave our home. And incorporating learning how to cook, learning how to bake into your homeschool is so helpful. It's helpful as a skill. It's helpful to learn how to follow a recipe. It's helpful to help you as the homeschool parent to not have to constantly be the one doing. And so, when you give your kids the skills, when you help them learn these skills, they can start to take over things for you. So oftentimes Emma will make breakfast for everybody, and then I don't have to worry about making breakfast for everybody because she's already done it. Or Lucy will get everybody a snack for our read aloud time, or Jack will do something for his own lunch. And what that does is it frees up time for mom to do other things that the kids can't do. Sometimes that is grading homeschool papers. Sometimes that is some sort of decluttering project. But giving your kids the skills to work in the kitchen is a big help long term for you and for your family. Now, I think that food can be very, very helpful in just dealing with harder days. One thing that I heard Julie Bogart say years ago was that if there are tears, you should make brownies. That wasn't exactly how she said it, but it was, when you are doing something with your kids, some sort of a subject, and there are tears, or the kids are really frustrated about that particular subject, if you continue to force it and force it and force it, they are not going to learn. It's just going to be bad for your relationship with them. So you can put that away and shift your focus to something like baking brownies or baking cookies or making bread or something physical that they are doing with their hands. And that is very helpful for your relationships and your homeschool. And so I would always recommend that if you're having a hard day, turning to food is very helpful. Now, that isn't necessarily the purpose of this collaboration. I think that the purpose of this collaboration is to talk about how you deal with food in your homeschool. And the number one way that we have dealt with food in our homeschool is that lunchbox idea, because it allows us to continue to work throughout our day without interrupting it, but still gives kids access to the food that they want or need throughout the day. And so that is kind of my whole thing about food and homeschool. But I did also want to mention how if you're having a trying day, it's okay to put the books away and to do something fun in the kitchen like baking brownies. I think that that's a very valuable thing. And also, again, like I said earlier in the video, when you are reading aloud to your kids or working with them on something specific, and you need them to be listening to you, when they are focusing on eating, they're not focusing on talking or doing something else. And that is a very, very helpful tool as you're trying to teach your kids whatever. The snacking is always a helpful thing in our homeschool. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I will have a link for the playlist in the description box so you can see how other homeschool moms handle food in their own homeschools. I would love to hear if you pack a lunchbox for your kids, if you have done this in the past. Another great thing that I have done also in the past is using a printable. I've created like a printable where my kids can go in and circle the things that they want to eat throughout the week. It helps me with meal planning. It helps them to see what they are going to have access to over the week, like if there's a particular sandwich meat that they want, or if there's a particular snack that they want. You know, they choose a couple of different fruits and vegetables so that those are the things, they've chosen those things to have throughout the day. Throughout the week, and that is just another way to kind of help manage your days when they participate in that choosing of food. So thank you again so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I would love to hear how you treat food in your own homeschool, if you pack a lunch, if you have open access to snacks, or if you have particular points in the day that you take a break and you have a snack. I'd love to hear all that, so let me know in the comments. And thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.